Hi everyone, really nice to see you again, and yeah, I'm really sorry. I know I've kind of dropped off the planet for the last couple of months, really. Yeah, Christmas, obviously, but also I've not been very well. Yeah, beginning to mid last year, I went into hospital and I had surgery and found out it's like an incurable disease called endometriosis, which I'd never heard of before, but apparently it's actually quite common in women. Um, yeah, it, it's incurable. They don't know what causes it. They don't fully know how to treat it, and um, yeah, it's just a case of management, but they're not always getting that right. So anyway, long story short, they put me on quite a lot of medication, pain medication, and other types of medication, and then other ones to counteract the side effects of other ones. So I was on quite a few tablets, and also I think a bit of a problem with gluten, and I wasn't eating gluten for about 2 years, which it was pretty good. I felt well, really good without having gluten. But they wanted to check me for celiac disease, and they told me same thing near-ish mid last year, beginning somewhere. But they told me I had to start eating gluten again because otherwise the tests that they had to run wouldn't show up the right results if I had a problem with it because I'd been off it so long. So that also, as soon as I went back on gluten, I felt dreadful, absolutely dreadful. So I had all of the problems with the gluten, and then I also had all of the problems with the medications that they were giving me. And to be honest, by the end of last year, I was feeling dire. It was, I don't know if, it's hard to explain. I think some people who already have the disease, or just a chronic illness, or an autoimmune, I mean, some people say it's not autoimmune, some people say it is autoimmune, they still don't know what it is. So even the people who are saying it isn't, they don't really know. So anybody with an autoimmune disease, anybody with a chronic illness, anybody who suffers constantly from a lot of pain, which it did give me all the time, all the time. I mean, to the point where I was waking up 8, 9 times a night, wasn't sleeping, and just frankly exhausted all the time. So it was tricky. And it wears you down a lot. But good news, I had the test for celiac disease. None of that.
Mommy.
Sorry, got an interruption. Come and say hello. No, don't do that. What?
Is it 5:15 or 5:15?
5:15. Okay. Right. PS4. Right, go.
Duh.
Yeah, go on. Shut the door, please. Shut the door, please. Eavesdropping. Right, so, anyway, I came off gluten after they'd done the procedure to check for celiac disease. I was also really worried because my dad had died of stomach cancer, so I was just worried that there was something going on there. But everything came back clear, and the second I had that test, they said I could come off gluten again. So not only did I come off gluten, but I came off sugar almost completely, alcohol, caffeine, potatoes, nightshade vegetables. So I can't have potatoes, I can't have tomatoes, I can't have chilies. I can't have chilies, which I'm a bit gutted about. And soy. I can't have any soy. So no soy sauces or anything like that. No tofu. Because apparently it acts like a hormone in the body. Anyway, again, long story short, I'm feeling heaps better. I'm feeling so much better than I have in ages. I've got energy now. Not all the time, but I've got energy. I've probably lost a couple of inches off my waist and hips, which was completely unintentional, but nice, you know, because obviously I think I put a bit on because of hormones they pump me full of, and yeah. But anyway, this is the reason I've kind of been gone the last few months, and it may be the reason why every so often I just kind of disappear, because it is a chronic disease. The dietary changes I've done have made a huge difference, but they're not a cure, and obviously I can still get flare-ups occasionally. They do want to do surgery, rather a large one, which is a hysterectomy, but I'm pretty sure most people who have any knowledge of endometriosis are probably screaming right now going, no, don't do it, because it's not a cure. And I do know that. However, endometriosis is very, very, it's different in everybody. It does different things, it causes different symptoms. It's just a weird one. It's a really, really weird one. The only way they can find out is if they stick a camera inside you. And, you know, it can take anything from stomach cramps to sticking your internal organs together. It's just, you know, some people it stops them having children. It's a weird one, you know, because a lifetime of periods was not enough. Someone up there thought, hey ho, let's give them a big dash of something horrible. So yeah, anyway, yeah, I've got it, nothing I can do about it. But I haven't been doing the hugest amount of sewing the last, well, pretty much winter. Just trying to keep up with all of the holiday stuff, and obviously I'm doing a foundation degree at the moment, so coursework is always going to have to come first, because, you know, it costs an arm and a leg to educate yourself. So anyway, first thing I did make this winter was this. It's the I think it's called the Rise turtleneck rather than the full one. It's a Rise turtleneck from Paper Cut Patterns. I'm not the best at showing you what it looks like, because there you go. So you probably recognise the material because it's, sorry if I'm looking that way again, it's because I've got a view of myself. But yeah, the fabric is actually one I used on my Blair Batwing, which probably was in, I think, 1 or 2 videos back. I had a load of it left, and I think I love it even more as a polo neck. I'm old school, we call it polo necks. But yeah, so I did that one, and then I actually did a second one, which I did in cotton, a nice organic cotton jersey. It's nice, and I think once I finally get around to making the Cleo dresses by Tilly and the Buttons, I think it's going to be gorgeous, because sorry, thought I'd show you some of my messy fabric stash rather than just blanking it all out. I bought this from Guthrie and Garney here in Birmingham, and it's 7-berry cotton drill fabric, and it's just really pretty. But I think if you look, that I'm hoping to make in a Clio, but you can imagine I think they'll go really well together. So possibly something I'm hoping to make soon. I don't know if I'm going to do you know, my intended makes for the next month videos, because I don't seem to actually make them. So I might just go one item at a time. I'm not quite sure yet. But anyway, I digress. Second thing that I made, or third thing, because I made 2 turtlenecks, were these. I rushed to get these made for my daughter for Christmas. I know, crazy, crazy material. And there's no way I'm going to fit them all on, because she's actually, oh, there you go. She's actually 6 foot, nearly 3 now, and these are long. She asked me if I was going to wear them, and I said they literally, they'd come here on me to fit my legs. She's really tall. She's actually the main reason I got back into sewing, so I can't complain. But yeah, she's really tall. It takes a lot, a lot of fabric cutting to do the legs. I've had to get 2 giant cutting mats so that I can put them back to back. So yeah, the light's going as well, so that doesn't help. But anyway, I did make, but can't find them at all, a couple of eye masks, you know, for sleeping, which I made out of the tartan material and some black silk habote, and my son promptly nicked one, and he actually was wearing it for quite a few nights until he misplaced it. And then I had another one which I wore a couple of times until I misplaced it. So I can't complain about him misplacing it, because I did exactly the same thing, and I think I actually did it before him. I did make a third one, but that's actually for, oh crikey, it's like a Valentine swap that they're doing on Instagram. A secret Valentine swap. But anyway, I ended up making a satin eye mask for someone in another country. So I've already had to send that off, and to be honest, it's not the most exciting thing to look at, but it was very pretty, but not really so much my colours, but it was really nice. But anyway, yeah, so I did those, and I have actually I've been knitting a scarf. I was hoping to do that for the Valentine's swap, but there was no chance I was going to get it done in time. So hence I ended up making the eye mask, which, you know, it's not, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully they'll like it, but I'm still only probably about a third of the way through the scarf, so maybe I'll finish it by next winter. Anyway, the final make I had is this one. It's a little bit untidy. I think I spilt some of my chocolate milk. I can have chocolate almond milk and chocolate rice milk and things like that, so it's a few things I can have. But anyway, it is a Sew House 7 toaster sweater number 2. So it's the actual, I think they call it a boat neck. So it's actually self-facing. So there's a piece up there that you kind of fold in and under, and then you stitch at the neckline there, and then you actually see it. It's got the mitered corners, and it slightly dips at the back. It's slightly longer at the back. I actually did it. It's supposed to be a thicker fabric, but I mean, I can handle this one because I've actually made sure I've made it loose enough so that it doesn't tug on me. But the thought of having some fabric there that's actually pushing against my neck, it just, it didn't appeal to me. And to be honest, if it hadn't been for this challenge, I would never, I bought both different styles of jumpers, because they have two of them. They have the number 1 and number 2, and the number 1 is a polo neck, hey, because I love them, and then it's a big band at the bottom. I'm sure you've heard loads of people on YouTube talking about it anyway, but anyway, that would have been the one I would have made. This one, I wouldn't have made it. I'm kind of glad I did. I chose a Drapier fabric, and if you actually see, it's actually quite, it's a sheer fabric. There's like lines of opaque and lines of transparent, and it's really, really, really nice one. It's really comfy. I did oversize it. I'd love to say it was intentionally, but I think I just had a complete blank moment. For some reason I thought, or maybe just the last time I measured myself, I was actually a fair bit bigger than I am now. But yeah, so I made it one size too big, and I also lengthened the body by 2 inches, because I'd heard a lot of people were saying that they'd done that because it comes up a bit shorter, and I don't like it too short. Each to their own. Some people love it, and I think if I have it short, I'd rather have it quite short with a higher like skirt or something, maybe like a Megan Nielsen Brumby skirt. That comes up quite high, and I wear that with little shorter jumpers, and that's really cute. But this I wanted longer, so I also extended the arms by 2 inches, because I'd heard a lot of people have been doing that as well. Turns out I think I've got rather short arms for my body, because I then had to take 2 inches back off, and I'm what, 5'10" and a half. So 5'10" and a half, you would think I'd have to add at least a bit of something, given that people who are probably 3 or 4 inches at least shorter than me, if not more, were all saying that they had to extend the arms. I think, and I know I used the right seam allowance on the shoulders, so I think I've just got really short arms. I don't feel like I have short arms, but yeah, it's alright. And then funnily enough, on this one, I actually found out that it was too short on my arms, and I ended up adding a little cuff to the bottom, and also to the bottom of the actual hemline. If you see, I added a little cuff there because I found that a little bit short as well. So I ended up being really lazy with my blue one, and just adding the cuffs and on the bottom band and the arms, because I couldn't be bothered to extend the pattern. But I think I might do it again. Either that, or I'll do a Paula one from Named Patterns. I'd like to give that a try, or a Hepburn turtleneck from Itch to Stitch. I want to kind of try all the different ones and see which ones I like. And I know they all call it turtlenecks. Here in the UK, when I was growing up, they're polo necks. They really are. And it feels weird calling it a turtleneck. I always loved polo necks when I was growing up. It was my thing. But anyway, so those are the things I've made. I'm not going to do some big, like I said, you know, this is what I'm going to do for months and months ahead of time. I'll be lucky if I manage to organise my week, to be honest, at the moment. I've got that much to do. But so what I am going to do is, I was lucky enough to, there's another YouTuber called Shona, and she has a YouTube channel called So She Show, and yeah, she was having a de-stash of a few of her things, and I was lucky enough to get a Sew Over It ultimate wrap dress pattern, which I did have in PDF, but if dresses, it's nice to have the actual pattern. But I also, she had, because I was there, the Sew My Style challenge by, it's Alex Bartholomew at Blackbird Fabrics. So if you check that out, you know, you can Google it. Anybody's welcome to join in. But anyway, this month for February is going to be a Sewino cardigan by Name Patterns. Sonio, maybe. Sonio? So they choose some challenging names. Challenging, yes. But anyway, I was debating because I could not for the life of me figure out what fabric to use. I do have like loads of wool jersey left, but I thought it might be a little bit thick. I'm not sure. I might give that a try anyway if I like this one. But anyway, so Shona was selling some stuff and she had this. It's like a bit somewhere in between a jersey and a sweat in it. It's kind of got raised dots, which my daughter's not overly keen on, which is great because that means she's not going to steal it, hopefully. Although then again, I've said that before, and as soon as she's seen it made up, she still steals it. Anyway, she actually, yeah, I won't be wearing this after this video. She'll be nicking it off me already. But yeah, this I think will be perfect for it, for a little cardigan. So yeah, thanks Shona. So that's what I'm going to do with this, and she's already nicely pre-washed it, so I don't even have to do that. So that is my aim for my next project. Okay, my battery went then. So yeah, just a big thank you to everybody who does bother to watch me, and I'll try and keep it a little bit more updated. And yeah, thanks for watching as always, and hopefully I'll see you soon with a finished cardigan and maybe a clearer idea of what I'm going to do next. I do have assignments to do and things like that, so hopefully the next video probably will be shorter, but yeah, that's all. So have a lovely rest of your weekend or week, depends on when I upload this, and yeah, see you soon. Bye.